women's bar? I didn't know that.
Owned by
And we're back.
And we're back.
And Reverton.
and we're back.
And we're back. Schlegs.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeshiva's Gula show. That is Avodah Zarah. I have deli juice, nutty juice for the share today. Some nutty chigs to have some of the most yeshiva candy.
The right shit.
Yeah, you get to the right share. That's right.
Fire, right?
Fire, yeah, of course. What? Dairy nutty juice? What are we? Shaggins? There is such a thing. There is such a thing. But, you know, the true Yidden eat power of nutty juice. You want a Gemara? Okay, well, there's one if you want. Okay. So we're back after an amazing 10 for 10 week last week. We did shir this morning in Chasidus. And now we are going for shir tonight. We are on quite a streak, Baruch Hashem. It's with the zchus of everyone. It's teamwork makes the dream work, and we're learning in the zchus of our soldiers and of our captured family who can't learn themselves. Right? They couldn't get any svarim in Gaza, and so we have to learn for them. And in the zchus of the Toyrah, in the ben chorin el mishu Torah, there's no person that's really truly free except for the who learns Torah. And so we're learning for our captives in the zchus that they get released. Okay, we are in the Gemara right now. Tav Nun Dalid Amr Aleph Mesachas Avodah Zarah. Zog the Gemara Tana. We learned in a Tana.
Brisa.
Oh, Brisa, gewaldig. We're in a Brisa. What's your name, Rabin? Aaron what? Aaron Lev. Shalom Aleichem. The Heilige Aaron Lev. Where you from? Eretz Yisrael. Givaldic. Well, thank you for joining us for share. So we learned a brisa. You know what a brisa is? Right? You have the Mishnah, and then whatever's not in the Mishnah is in the brisa, but it's from a Tanaic standpoint. Read. Have a night show. Stag instead. Oh, Givaldic. So on Nun Dalet Amar Aleph, you know how the Gemara says if someone is hurting on their stomach, you know what to do?
Send it to the beis medrash.
Yeah, it's like Toyrah, that's right. Send it to the beis medrash. Keep nifga v'cham and zeh. The answer to a lot of the problems in life is just shagging.
As my rabbi said, when you're crazy, you go to an insane asylum. When you want to go to find sanity, you go to the sane asylum for sanity. Where's the sane asylum?
Beis medrash.
The beis medrash is the sane asylum.
The sane asylum over here. You know, and we're all sane and enjoying our time here on planet Earth, you know. I ran into a yid today in town, and he was like, "Oh, it's crazy times. He's staying sane." I was like, "I've been practicing for like 3 years now, ever since the beginning of the pandemic. We know what we're dealing with." Stagging da, you know, Rabbi Harry, everybody. You know, Rabbi Harry is the Rebbe of the Super Show. You know, it's all teamwork. But Rabbi Harry and me, we spoke about the Super Show back when I was in college. And we should be zeiche. So Shkoyach, we're still learning. Can you imagine what, like 5 years ago, 6 years ago? We're still stagging. The stagging must go on. Tano, we learn in the Heilige Brisa. Nevad shelo aser v'shel chavero mutter. If you worship, right? If you worship, let's say I think it's talking about like a goat, right? By the way, tomorrow morning, 10:30, we're doing shir by the goats. Outside, we're doing chasidus by the goats. You know, bring my mic. Listen, the Eibishter is finna give us the Avodah Zarah. So if you worship a goat of yours, it's aser, right? Or if a guy worships a goat, maybe he's talking about an akum, like that worships a goat. His is aser b'shachavero, but his friend is mutter, right? If you go and worship, if Goy Tony goes and worships Goy Arnold, you know, goat, so we can't aser Arnold's goat. Ain't adam aser davar she'ena shalom. Uramina, the Gemara says, hold on one tick. Wait a second. Ezehu nevad. So when the Gemara says, Ramina, the Gemara says, I have a stira. And the stira, if we brought a Bryce, they're asking a stira, they're not bringing the stira from some achro. They're bringing a Brysa. We have another Brysa that contradicts what you just said in the previous Brysa. What is nevad? What is worship? Kosha ovdin osa oso ben b'shogeg uven b'mezid ben b'onis v'mratzon. So nevad, a worship, I believe it's talking about a goat, but we haven't seen Rashi yet. So we're going with goat. That's what I think it is. Nevad. It's usually talking about a goat that's worshipped, or an animal, not a goat. You know, any animal that they worship, they bring as a sacrifice. We just know that those Satanists like goats for some reason. You know. But we got 2 goats in Yeshivas Gula Shol Maila. By the way, speaking of Yeshivas Gula Shol Maila, Yeshivas Gula Shol Maila got another Heilige Talmud recently. And this year is Le'iloi Nishmas. Shalom Pinchas. This year is Le'iloi Nishmas. Shalom Pinchas. Ben Mordechai. His neshama should go straight up to the Kisei HaKavod, and he should say to Hashem, look at what your children are dealing with, and they're still stagging Toyrah. So put an end to this shibud, Satanist, pedophile, heliocentric madness, and let destroy all our enemies and build a beis hamikdash already. DVJ, that's what we got to do. DVJ's got the background of Yerushalayim. Shalom Pinchas ben Moshe. should be for an Eli Neshama. This year in the Torah we learn should elevate him to the Kisei HaKavod, where he's a Melech Yosher for Klal Yisrael for humanity.
Make a machers based on Shemala is Makabel. Is the Shema we have to make.
Yeah. Oh, so get ready. Oh, he passed away today. Mr. So yeah. So I think, that the beis din Shalmaila, we're learning in the zchus the beis din Shalmaila should be ready with hachanos and dancing and singing and ready to continue the war with us, right? The Shteig Torah with us in Shiva School Shal Shalmaila. And the Shema is with us. Shiva School Shal Shalmaila. Shalom Pinchas is learning with David Ben Bracha right now, my grandfather.
Wow, we're living in the metaphysical reality.
Yeah, we're the yeshiva. The yeshiva is always going on up there. Rav Gana gives shir once a week.
Do they have peanut Jews there?
Oh, do they have peanut Jews in Shalmaila? I don't think so. They have the Torah equivalent of peanut Jews. That's what we have to be in this world. Peanut shig. I don't know if it's parav, but I don't know if it's dig. But I'll let you make the decision. You know what? Okay.
I love you guys.
Oh, Ziggity Ziggs, what's going on? Shalom Aleichem. Oh man,
I'm waiting on Schliggs.
What?
I'm outside waiting for him. He said he's on his way. I don't know.
Gewaldig. We steigen da. Oh, speak of the Yid.
Over here.
Oh, buddy. Okay,
He's in
so
the spaceship now?
what is Nevad? What is worship? Anything that you worship it, whether it's on purpose or by accident, or right? Be'ones or beratzon, you're forced to do it, or you actually want to do it. So hi ones. So what does it mean that it's worshipped with ones, that he had to? It was forced. What does it mean forced? Heichi dami. How is it possible? Lav gegon de anas behemas chavero. Isn't the case of be'ones that it's worshipped be'ones that he raped the animal of his friend? Now, when I say raped, I just mean rape worship. He just goes around davening to someone else's cow or someone else's goat, and so it's usher. But wait a second, didn't the previous brisa just tell me that it was mutter if you worship someone else's goat? So the Gemara right
turning
now
around or
has
no?
a big question. What's up?
All good.
Great. Vishtachavela, and he dived into his friend's animal. Rami Bar Chama, says Rami, the son of Chama. Lo, that's not what it's talking about. When it says anas, it's not talking about that some guy dive into some other guy's animal and ostered his animal. That's the ones. That's not what it's talking about. Lo, kigon she'antu ovekuchavim tishtachaveh levehemto diday.
Thank you very much.
That the idolater, what does it mean that it's be'ones? It's that the idolater, Tony takes Anthony. Tony takes Arnold, right? And he forces him to dive into his own idol. That's be'ones. He's not talking about that he's davening to his friend's idol. He's talking about that he's forcing his friend to dive into his own idol. That's what it means to be forced to do idolatry. Not that, I dive into B's idol, and so now B's idol is usher behana. Now to get benefit from. Great shot by Rabbi Rachana. Yo, DVJ on the Zoom over there. We got Yidin and female Yidin, Yidans in the Craig.
Well, I'm sorry, what did you ask me? Shalom Aleichem.
Oh man, it's so good to see your face, bro. It's a zchus. Oh, now it's gone. Wasn't that a great Rami Bar Chama? Mazgivla Rebbe Zera. Rebbe Zera is now challenging. He's striking a shaila. He says, Ones Rahmana Padre. He says, wait a second, says Rabbi Zera. Every rabbi who's worth his salt knows that Ones Rahmana Padre. If it's against your will and you're forced to do an Avera, so the Torah says it's okay. So why does it become usher? Why does the animal become usher? If some idolater forces another idolater to pray to his own idol, Ones Rahmana Padre. I actually mentioned Ones Rahmana Padre in a song called Talking Happiness. Maybe it's called Super Chill. I mentioned Ones Rahmana Padre, Ayin Sham. Masgiv Rabbi Zera asks Ones Rahmana Padre, what the Torah, the merciful Torah. Yo, Harry, your grandfather's neshama is gonna remind the Kadosh Baruch Hu, is like, oh, we call the Torah Rahmana. So how about you don't let the sons of Ishmael torture our family? Right? I mean, Hashem knows, but was his name Pinchas? So it's Ones Rahmana Padre. Shalom Pinchas ben Moshe. Shalom Pinchas ben Moshe. He's here. He's here with us, Age. He's here with us in Shir, and we're really missing his presence on this plane, in this realm of reality. But we know that Shalom Pinchas ben Moshe is making major moves up in Shamayim, in the Ginzei Meromim.
I had the time to tell each other to mind their own business.
Yeah.
Just to get it like Ayin Sham.
Ayin Sham. Nice, it's a good one. Ayin Sham. It's a good yeshivish joke. Bro, yeshivish jokes are the best. Yeshivish jokes are the best. A yeshivish guy walks up to a table, sees a Tanakh, and he calls her and says, Yamzi, you're not going to believe it. Kalikud of all the Gemara, all the psukim that the Gemara brings. Because it says that if a woman is raped, you shouldn't do anything, no punishment for her. If she's raped and caught in the field, she screamed to try to be saved, but no one hurt her. So, yeah, the guy who rapes her, we're going to punish him. He's getting his what-ups. Yeah, he has to marry her and sustain her. It's his life. And if he does it a few times, Sanhedrin will probably put him into some tight space and feed him barley until he explodes. That's what we did to repeat rapists. We weren't just letting these rapists walk around town. You ever hear that? Machnisin oso l'kipa. I learned this Nakuda with Ray Brownstein in 12th grade in Sanhedrin.
What it means when you say they feed him barley until he dies.
Yeah.
Epstein, when you say, oh, he must have eaten barley.
Yeah. Yeah, what? No, they had Epstein.
No cameras back then.
What?
No cameras back
then. And even if there was cameras, they'll say it was malfunctioning. And even if listen, Jeffrey Epstein was instrumental in us figuring out the sugya of the Shiva, to figure out what's really going on, who's really in control in this world. And what we got to know is, was Jeffrey Epstein a Levi? And was he related to the Aruch HaShulchan and the Torah Tanakh? Listen, we just got to know. Just for the sugya, we got to know. Shalom snakes and zigs. Here, I got to come over for you guys.
You guys just here digitally a moment ago? We just digitally here a moment ago, right? Yes. You were on the screen.
It's called the crossover snake. Crossover snake, bleep blurb. Yo, DVJ, check out this crossover snake. Let's go. DVJ, this list. Okay.
LFG.
Adam LFG over here. Amar Rava, Akol Ayu Bichlal. Rava says, wait a second. Everything was in general. Hakol hayu bichlal lo ta'avdum. So really it says Ones Rachmana Patre, right? And so you would think, asked Rabbi Zera, that if Tony goes up to Anthony and forces Anthony to worship his own idol, so then the idol wouldn't be usher because Anthony was forced to do it in Ones Rachmana Patre, right? The Torah, the merciful Torah forgives or does not like hold someone accountable for something that they were forced against their will to do. Says Rabin, no, this is different. This is a kol hayu bichlal lo tavdim. Everything is included in do not worship them. Right, that was the klal. The klal says do not worship them. This, by the way, Rabbi Yishmael, also big in the sugya of Yishmael. Is why is Rabbi Yishmael the one telling us like how he learned Torah? Rabbi Yishmael Omer b'shlosh midos. So Hakol was in Lo Tavdim, don't worship idols. That was a klal. When the Torah says live by them, you shouldn't die for them. Yatza Ones. So Ones was excluded. And or maybe Yatza Ones, that the Ones was not forbidden. It does not alter the idol. The Torah goes back and writes, Lo tichalu Hashem kadshi. Do not profane my holy name. Even if it's Ones. Even if he's forced to do it. So the Gemara says, wait a second. Now, okay, fine. So you explain to me that the one brisa says that if you worship it and you're forced to worship, and so, wait, hold on, let's see more. And the Gemara, okay, so how is it so? Habit sin, habit farhesya. So he says, no, how could it be? And it's exactly what the question is. The answer is, no, this isn't sin. This is when it's in private. Maybe in private, it's a little bit more lax, but what it did for Hesia, when the Chil Hashem is on social media and everyone sees it, there's a way stronger din. That is a way stronger din, and it has different ramifications. And we're going to see exactly what's going on in our Gemara. So now we're going to see the Rashi. When you're in the Gemara, you're in the Gemara. When in the Rashi, in the Rashi. Nebad, right? So he said Tana, Nebad, Shalo, Alter, Shachver, Mutter. If it's worship, we thought it's talking about an animal. Zog Rashi, Bale Chai Manesa Legavah. So it's an animal that is, it's not even talking about Asr Behana, actually. It's talking about Asr Legavah. If one's an idolater worships his idol, so then it can no longer be used as a korban to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So im shalo, if it's his, haya kishdachah velo azer. When some idolater worships his idol, if it's his, when he bows down to his azer, im lav eino nes alagavah. But it does not make his friend's idol alagavah. I mean, I know you were here, but I just saw you again, and I was delighted to see your beautiful orange shirt. Let's go, Islanders. Yo, Islanders, Harry, big Islander family. Married into. Oh, Tanala, Shalom Aleich. Ella Amarava Akol Ayu Bechla. Okay, wait. So he says, he says, Meze Viradzon is Chadahava. So Rashi performs the question. You're telling me if he does it on purpose or by accident, willingly or unwillingly, he says on purpose and willingly is the same thing, right? Ella Tana Radzon Eitzel Ones, but they wanted to write willingly as they can include unwillingly also. So the Gemara says everything ayu bichlal. I go bein ones bein ratzon. When it says lo tavdeim, it means do not worship them. in any event, ones or ratzon, everything was
Was it coerced or not?
was in general. Exactly. Coerced or not, doesn't matter. Because when the Torah specifies the chai b'hem, and you should live by them, below sheyomas b'hem yatza ones. So ones went out of the inclusion of those that don't worship them. The Torah says, if someone's going to kill you, so then ones is like, okay, fine, you can worship it when it's ones. The pasuk telling you don't worship that means if you're not being forced to. But if you're being forced to at the force of your life, so then worship. That's what the Gemara is at the second step. The Torah comes back and says a third pasuk, do not defile my holy name. And so then it says even if it goes back even to include, to forbid worshiping idolatry by accident in ones. As the Gemara, how is this possible? This is sinners verse. Says Rashi, this is in public. This is on. So Rashi says b'farhesia in public. Lo techalu. Do not be mechalel. Do not defile. The high b'kitani ones other is talking about b'farhesia. So one brisa implies that ones is aser, and one brisa implies that ones is mutter. In one place, it says that if the idol is worshipped, if someone forces you to do the idol, right? It says that one Gemara implies that it's mutter, one brisa implies that it's mutter, or actually, if then when it says it's aser, even if it's an ones. Usually we would say that ones are patra. Usually we would say that if you're forced to do the idolatry, that if you're forced to do an aver, then do it and don't let yourself be killed. But here it says lo techalu Hashem kadshi. Don't be mechal my name. And that's talking about in farhesia, because the chil Hashem is when it's in farhesia, when it's in public. That's the biggest chil Hashem. And so when it's in sinna, when it's in private, if someone forces you to worship if someone forces a guy to worship his own idol, so then it is, if it's in public, it becomes usher to bring to a korban to Hashem, and if it's in private, it's mutter to bring to a korban to Hashem, because it was in sinna and ones rachmana patre. But when it's in public, it's a different game. This latest Bnei Yishmael infiltration was captured in public, and so it's a chil Hashem. And so it's a completely different story, and that's why we have to deal with it quickly and decisively.
And defining forces under the threat of death.
Yeah, over here we're talking about, right, because there's Chai b'hem, you should live by them. So if someone says eat this pig, you eat it, unless maybe if it's in public, because then it becomes a question of chil Hashem. And when it's in public and it's a chil Hashem, then even if they say, I don't like the shoelace you're wearing, wear one of these shoelaces that is exclusively worn by idolaters. You have to let yourself be killed rather than change the shoelace. Rather than be lechal shem shamayim, chas v'shalom. So says the Gemara, Amrulei Rabbanan LeRava. Rabbanan says to Rava, Tanya Messiah. What did Rava say? Rava said, listen, even ones is aser. That's what Rava said. Even ones is aser because of the klal product klal. So it even included ones. Excuse me. So he says, I bring a brisa that actually helps you. And what's the brisa that they're going to bring? Shlegs? You wouldn't believe it. The brisa that we're going to bring is the very brisa that we've been discussing at the end of last week. Bimasos shel ovdei kochavim. back to that square that they would put their idols on, the platform.
They never got an answer. The king passes once a year. What happens the rest of the year?
They don't get it's not used for idolatry.
So what is it?
I don't know. Maybe people are selling their wares. Ties here, get your ties, get your sheep malchus ties. Baby blood here, get your baby blood.
So simply that one day the king passes.
But it was used for idolatry. Yeah. So we say it's mutter, by the way. We say the people of the malachim are mutter. That's what we saw. Yes, it's in mutaros, because they put him when the king passes. The king, it's not even that it goes once a year. Once he passes, that's it. It's like,
you may have said this too before, but just now when you guys were talking about it, made me have that clear image of like that Alex Jones video of what happens in the Bohemian Grove, you know, because it's like the king passes once a year. Well, what are they doing? They're doing their Ruach HaTumah stuff, right? They're doing their really bad, evil idolatry stuff.
heliocentric
So it's like,
child sacrifices.
it's like I'm wondering, who is the king that they're talking about? It's the king of the Ruach HaTumah.
Yeah, it's Trump, it's Biden, it's all the Shiva Malchus kings, you know? So, and it's not that he passes once a year. The Indian Grove, they do once a year. Here, the king passes, they build him a thing, and then it's just part of the atmosphere, part of the nature. So you say it's mutter in the Mishnah. But here, the Gemara says, no, we have a price that's going to help you. B'mashos shel akum b'shas ha'gezerah. Shas ha'gezerah. We might be in Shas ha'gezerah right now. Right? Aval bi sha'gezerah batla. Ozo b'masos lo batlu. Wow. Even if the gezerah is over, right? The Sheba made a gezerah, kill all Jews, let's say, right? Kind of like nowadays. You know, it's basically like it's not far. So if they build a bima, like a platform that they would put the idols and the king passes there, and he passed by during a time of gezerah, whatever that is, it's exactly what Shas gezerah is. If he does that, even if the gezerah is over, that platform is never mutter anymore to use, to break down and use for something profane. It's never mutter. Amrulo. So that's a raya for Rava that says that it's Azar at all times. Rava says Amrulahu. He says to him, that the guy who's trying to bring the Rabbanan, he says to them, Imishumha lo tisayan. If it's because of that brisa, it wouldn't help. Imor Yisrael Mumar Hava V'Palach La Biratzon. They say, what about if Yisrael Mumar, like Mamrim Hayitem Mashem Lokecha? This morning in Chassidus we shelled two Mamrim Hayitem Mashem Lokecha with Avram and Elonei Mamre and Sham. So here we have again Yisrael Mumar, like an Israelite who has completely went to the dark side, like probably most of Israeli government and most of these Jewish organizations in America, these Shiva organizations, like I don't know, the Jewish this and that, global Jewish networks, you know, all those Shiva stuff. So he did it on purpose. Rav Ashi is lo tema imor elavadai Yisrael mamarav apali baraton. Chezkiah Amar Kigon shenizach levodas b'lav miyayin al karnea. Okay, so what we're trying to understand now, Rabbosai, is how is this brisa that they brought talking about bimasos, bringing back those squares during a Shas Gezerah? How does that bring a raya for Rava, who says that even idolatry worship, if a person was forced to worship idolatry, it still becomes asur to gavoa, asur to bring as a korban to the Eivishter. She's a Shas Gezerah parhez Yehu v'onesu, right? They're forcing him to worship, and at the times of the bimasos, And so we see that he was forced, Yisrael, the Israel is talking about the Yisrael being worshiping it and being forced to worship it, right? So Israel is forced to worship this bimasos, forced to worship this square that they have. I guess at the time maybe they have idols on it at the time, and they're forcing the Israel to worship that thing, or you're forcing it to worship it. It itself was considered an idol because it at one time had idolatry on it. We see from Parshas Lech Lecha, Parshas Vayera, that Abraham says, "Wash your feet." That these freaking idolaters will worship even dust. So it's a Shas Gezerah, so they're forcing him to do it, and we say it's Uzzer. It's Uzzer. So even if there's batal, why would it be Usher? If an idolater worships this, then it goes in Mevatel. It must be that a Jew worshipped it. And it must be that the Jew worshipped it and he was forced to worship it. And still we say it's Usher. So isn't that a raya for Rava, who says that if it's Ones, it's Usher, but to go on the idolatry? Says Rava, I appreciate you trying to bring proof for me, but it's not actually, doesn't actually prove me. Because I could say it's possible that there was like this idolatrous Jew, and he was like, Trump, 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 Biden, Biden, Biden. Give me work, wear a hat that says make Sheba great again. Like a lot of times Jews get caught up into this, and he worshipped it with his will. Rav Ashi says, no, don't say that. Maybe a Jew worshipped it on purpose. But of course, the Jew worshipped it on purpose. Says Rashi, of course, the Jew worshipped it on purpose. The Evger Bechola Oved it. So what? You got all these MAGA guys. It's not gonna be 1 year, and then it's worshiping idolatry. All these Joe Biden satanic Catholic pedophile heliocentrists. There's not gonna be 1 year that falls into the shibud with them. Low and still don't say it's a stira. Dagadani Azar. When it said that it was Azar, the Bryce that said that it was Azar, Kigon Shenizach Levodos Lochavim, Bain Karnea, Shalbe Masavero, David Maisa. It wasn't just that he davened to it. It was, wait a tick. I got confused on which line of Rashi, and I skipped a few lines. So spoiler.
Amen.
Perfect, DVJ, perfect. So it's not about Acharesha Roa as Israel Yadam Mata, no delibel avodas kochavim. Wow. Why does the Yid get into American politics? Why does he buy into the Shibud? Why does he become a big sports fan? Why does he become an avid follower of Taylor Swift, Yimach Shema? Why does this happen? Because Sharoa as Israel Yadam Mata, he sees that the Israelites are on the bottom. And so they say free Palestine. And so no delibo love his heart turns to idolatry. He doesn't want to be embarrassed. As Rav Kahana would talk about Hadar. Rav Kahana would talk about Jewish pride. Jabotinsky would talk about Jewish pride. What happened with Bnei Ishmael from Gaza? It was a pogrom that would happen every week in Europe. And the Jews got used to it. Comes Jabotinsky and says, wake up, Jews, have some pride in yourselves. It's not a mitzvah to be beaten. Have some pride in yourselves. And he started the first Jewish Defense League. And that Kahana, Jabotinsky, when he came to America, Kahana would come to Kahana's dad's house, and Kahana would sit on his lap for Kahana. Jabotinsky, the Heliga. So, and then it says, and then Cheskia says, no, I have another shot, right? Rabbi Zera says, oh, definitely, and I did worship it. And Rabbi Zera says, I have another shot. Cheskia says, Olam Ones Kitani Ja Ones famous Avera. Really, when it's talking about Ones, it is talking about before that Tony comes and David to Anthony's animal. And even so, lo tiraminu adadi, don't say it's a stira. One place says that if you worship your friend's animal, it's mutter to be brought the gavava. If an idolater worships the idolater friend, and one says if the idolater worships the idolater friend, it's usher. That really is the case. So then why should I ask there? So when this mother, he just dive into it. He just dive into it over here. Right? He just bowed. Bain Karneh, but here is that he poured wine between the horns of his friend's bull that he did a Maisa. The Avada Mitzvah, the comment like we're gonna learn next in Amud Beis. So that's what Cheskia says. Good?
Yeah.
Steigen da? That's what it says. Tomorrow we're gonna see a question from the Heligur of Acha Bar Ava. I was gonna ask a great question. Rav Acha Bar Ava was gonna say, "Hi, never what we're talking about an animal which is worshipped. Hi, bimas b'almos. This is a simple bimas. It's just one of those square platforms. The Sharia, and it's mutter to use if it's like put up, right? The Mishnah said, "Ela Amar Rav Ada Bar Ava kigon shenizach la yayin bein karnea." That is talking about that he poured wine between the horns of the bull to Avid Bamaisa. Okay, we're actually gonna do this. So that's the question that we're gonna do tomorrow. DVJ, what's the tigs looking like? 4 minutes.
Correct.
4 minutes. Let's see. It says B'chiyah da'az da'ula, like what Ula says. Amar Rav Yochanan Ava Pisha Amru Hamashtach V'Levim Es Chaveru Lo Azra. It says that you dive into your friend's animal, it doesn't become usher. If a guy dive into his guy friend's animal, it doesn't become usher. But if he's usher b'maisa, he poured wine between its horns, it's usher. Amar Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman says, "Poku ve'amrule le'ule." He says, "Go out and tell that to Ula." Kavar targum Ravuna lishmaticha bebavel. So Ula already translated it. Rav Huna already translated it to Ula so that he could tell them what's going on in Bavel. Tell me Rav Huna. The Rav Huna says, the animal was crouched because of idolatry. Once you shecht already one of its simanim, right? We know when we do shechita, we have to cut rove of 2 simanim. Once you cut one of the simanim, it becomes aser. Mina, right? It's the windpipe in the esophagus. Mina and the Azra. How do we know it's Azra? Elim, I'm going to go on. If we go on, if it's Dilma Shani, we may go on a different day, and then we can go on him. No. Okay. Well, the Avim is back. Maybe we learn it from the Avim is back. We're just seeing it now, and then tomorrow, obviously, we're going to go over it. We're just seeing a little bit. Just to get our feet wet. Who doesn't like to get their feet wet in Pekias? Tomorrow we'll go over it again. Well, Avim is back, but Dilma Kidur of Papa. The Elam Mikalim. No, we don't learn it from the Kohanim. We learn it from Kalim, from vessels. Yes, all the vessels that Achaz left, and we learned about Achaz. We've seen all this stuff before. Bimalo, right? When he went up in his gig, he took all of the vessels and he used them. But wait a second, did we say that if it was used for idolatry, we couldn't reuse it? And that was the question we asked like a few weeks ago, even. What does it mean that they were making it? They hit him away. And they brought other ones. But a person can't ask them, which is not his. No, but when you do a maisa with it, it's three. And that's the dot. Givaldic. DVJ time. We got 2 minutes. All right, time for a Chazara song. DVJ, I learned the secret of telling time.
Sky
God, I could have done it without you all these years. Today we learn about the Heliga Brisa. What's the din if someone davens to something which is not there? We say it's usher. We say it's mutter. We say the difference is if it's in public. When Hashem's name is disgraced in public, we have to do our best to put it back in its place of Kedusha and sanctity. And that will come when we kill all our enemies, including the Vatican, get our Kalim back again, and build the beis medrash. It will be so delicious. Build the beis medrash and come and build it with us.